Well, I had the opportunity to get started in Lean Six Sigma when I started my career at General Motors. And it was a great time because GM was learning from Toyota some methods in terms of statistical process control and employee participation that have really become the heart of what Lean Six Sigma is. So I got a great start doing that with a group of people out on the production floor. And I learned some lessons that made it possible to do that with knowledge workers and with folks in all kinds of businesses following that up. I think the most important skills that you get out of taking these courses is the ability to take on challenging problems in a very structured way and in a way that allows a group of people to really focus on making some improvements. So it's not about the individual making a change or solving a problem. It's about a group of people working together. So the skills are about being able to break down any problem into some components. We call this the problem breakdown structure. And then communicating the structure to everybody that's involved so everybody can understand what the nature of the solution really needs to be. The way that Lean Six Sigma really fits well into healthcare is that healthcare especially involves people solving problems together. So in regard to nurses and doctors working more effectively together, the technical staff, the administration function, all of that coming together to serve the patients better. It is so much about people. And the interesting thing about the hospital situation is the thing we call the flow unit, the thing that moves through the process, well, that's not a thing, that's also a person. So it's a great place to learn these skills and bring them into play so that that whole dynamic works a lot more effectively. The difference in the approach that I take is the adaptive part of it. So in today's world, you're not just facing one problem or a static problem. You're facing dynamic problems in a very changing environment. So these skills are about developing the ability to solve problems, but more importantly, to develop problem-solving people. People that know how to work together effectively in a very focused way to get today's problems solved and be able to take on tomorrow's challenges. The approach that I bring to Lean Six Sigma, the adaptive Lean Six Sigma, is something that's based very much on the way I practice when I perform Lean Six Sigma improvements. It takes advantage of all the best thinking that's out there right now, the much improved ways of dealing with problems that exist in today's environment. And it really builds in a team-based problem solving. So that it's not you as an individual green belt or as a practitioner trying to take on these problems as an individual. It's about building a community of problem solvers at the working group level, at really the tribal level, a group that can learn to solve problems together and take on future challenges as well. Well, I think the most important skill is really in the background. So anyone that's been in an organization that's had to deal with problems of delay, of waste, of defects and do-overs, that's the basic background. And building on that, the class will show you how to take a structured approach to make a lot of those problems go away. Well, when you consider the options out there to take this kind of training online versus in the classroom, the online training has a certain place. So some of the concepts and certainly some of the statistical techniques probably can be learned very effectively online. But since solving problems is really about getting people to work together more effectively, there really is no substitute for being in a room with other people to learn the principles and practice the skills on what it takes to solve these problems as a group. And so classroom training is really a tremendous advantage. It's more of an investment, but it does give you a tremendous advantage in terms of learning how to really work with people and take those skills back to the real world. In today's very challenging times, people are faced with a situation that is kind of like this. It's as if in the sport of baseball or golf, they decided to change the rules every day. So the fundamentals that you learned early in your career no longer apply the same way. So what you have to do is develop the ability to adapt, to learn to change your skills, and to learn to take on new abilities in this changing environment. And Lean Six Sigma gives you a very structured way to learn that in the process of solving problems. And solving problems is part of a team. So your skills become upgraded in kind of a natural fashion. And that way you not only can solve today's problems, but you can take on tomorrow's challenges as well.